Good afternoon. It is wonderful to welcome our listeners to today's program. It's time for an update and to visit with our friends from Ruby Mountain Voices. And this time around, they are part of an award-winning parade entry in the Elko County Fair Parade. So hopefully a lot of you listeners got to enjoy Ruby Mountain Voices during the parade. What a wonderful entry. With Sky Fair, they had activity in the sky, literally, with a helicopter and with the beautiful voices blended there riding along. So without further ado, I'll reintroduce Valerie Sargeant, who is here. And Valerie is the president of Ruby Mountain Voices, and she sings soprano, and that's important. Everybody's got their role. And the vice president of the organization is Rick Whittington, who sings bass. And we have some other fantastic members of the Voices in studio. They're going to share more about their experiences and why membership in this group is important to them. So welcome, Valerie. It's always a pleasure to see you and to welcome you here to KELK.
Oh, thank you. We enjoy being here.
So, Rick, welcome back to the program. Come up and use your best tennis lesson voice.
How about my good radio voice? Oh.
Excellent good radio voice. Rick Whittington is known to a lot of locals as not only the vice president of this organization, he sings bass in Ruby Mountain Voices, but he teaches tennis and has really done an amazing job in reviving the interest and expanding the sport to young people, Rick. So thank you.
Well, thank you. Yeah, it's tennis, like any other sport, has to have a grassroots program to it to build it, and that's kind of what we're establishing now.
And speaking of established, that is Ruby Mountain Voices. So, Valerie, let's revisit maybe the mission. And it's been a while since we've had an update, but the music and the mission has certainly grown.
It has, and we have taken off with being a more noticeable presence in the community and people asking to have us come and sing for events. We also do some little mini events with singing in churches and stuff where we don't have all of our members. But even had a request from the Elko Lions Club in Ely to come down for an event down there. And it's like, oh, we're so sorry. We don't think we can get everybody on the same page for that one, 3 hours away. But the word is spreading, and we just got another request for an event that's coming up in November with the Senior Citizen Center to help an organization out that is going to have a spaghetti feed, and they said, would you please come sing? So we're working towards those goals, like we said, to be part of the community, but this concert we feel is really going to be attended much better than our two previous ones. And we have some fabulous things that are going to happen in it. And two of them are going to be kept secret because I'm not going to spoil the surprise.
Ooh, we love surprises. It's always nice to reward folks who come out for something like that with some surprises, some surprise selections. So when you first started Ruby Mountain Voices, and I know that this was really an inspiration for you, something that lived in your heart for a long time until finally you just said it's time. How many voices did you have initially as compared to where you are now, Valerie?
We're pretty close to the same number. Right now we have 28, and that includes the board members and also Connie Muir, who plays. So you take out Connie and either Kat or I directing, so then we're down to 26 voices. So we've hung around that number. We've had some people leave, but we've had some new ones come, and we also have our audition window open right now for our next season. And that is obviously going to be Christmas, and everybody loves to perform Christmas music and sing throughout the community. And we hope we can get the word out there that people would contact us, because that window will probably close by the second week of October.
Okay, so auditions open now, it's fair to say?
Yes.
Okay.
We already have 3 lined up.
Oh, great. So this isn't like a group thing where you show up at a theater and everybody kind of does their best. You're actually hosting sort of private auditions, it sounds like.
We are now.
Okay.
Yes,
that
we are
great.
now. When we first started, we did not. It was like we were just keeping our fingers crossed that people were going to show up for the open house meeting.
Right. Oh. So, Rick, on to you. And we know that among the Ruby Mountain Voices, there are 4 distinct sections. I think, is that how you refer
Correct.
to them?
Yep.
Okay. So maybe tell us about the sections. We do have some members that represent the various sections here, which we're excited to get to introduce and talk to. But tell us about maybe those different parts and how you as board members feel about how Ruby Mountain Voices is currently situated.
Well, it's a pretty standard layout as far as SATB, soprano, alto, tenor, bass, and we try to keep those factions balanced. We don't want to have 15 sopranos and 1 bass and 3 tenors, and that'll be it. So it's a pretty even keel across the board, and we've been able to maintain that. And as we grow, we'll also maintain that. We won't let that get out of hand.
And do some of the members, are they able to sing different parts? Or I'm thinking about auditions, if you're looking to fill particular roles?
We are always looking for basses, but we are obviously looking for anybody who'd like to audition with us. It's a dynamic situation. Elko's a dynamic town. People are moving in, people are moving out, and so things happen. But overall, the core group has stayed pretty strong. And that's one of the good things about the choir right now, because that core group keeps things maintained, keeps them consistent, keeps the sound consistent. And we've been able to build with Connie and Kat and Val directing us. They are building us up to a higher quality all the time, which is really fun.
And so, Valerie, on that note, who makes a good member of the new choral group, Ruby Mountain Voices?
Well, someone that obviously has experience and does have a music background. We're not asking for extensive knowing music theory like that, but just basic music reading skills in the voice range that you sing. And also commitment. We are a dedicated choir, and we expect everyone to attend. We realize life happens, but we need everybody there to have our performances. And this summer's been kind of a rough season for us. After our Easter concert that was done so well, it's like, all right, we're going to start up on our patriotic concert. And we were shooting to have it in July, after the 4th of July weekend. And that date that we picked, it was just 7 or 8 people were going to be gone. I think it was the tenors that were wiped out. And there was only going to be like 1. And it's like, well, obviously we can't do a concert with 1 tenor. So then it was like, okay, show of hands, who can be here for this date? And we finally nailed it down to this September date that coincided with Sky Fair.
That's perfect. So between both Rick and Valerie, let's talk about the God Bless America Patriotic Concert that will really wrap up the summer season. There's nothing wrong with that. And then usher us into autumn and, of course, be an important part of Sky Fair, which I know a lot of aviators feel deeply patriotic, and flying is a symbol of freedom. I mean, it truly is. And so this will be an amazing performance. Your performances are free. And so between you and Rick, did you want to talk about, other than the surprises, what we can look forward to?
Well, I can actually even give you a rundown of the songs. I do have that. Very patriotic in Americana also too. So we start off with Star Spangled Banner, and then a great piece is called Salute to the Armed Forces. Then Shenandoah. And for those of us in choir, especially I'm going to say 40 years on up, that was a go-to song in choir for festival choirs, college choirs, performances. I mean, it is just a very beloved choir song. But we have a little bit different arrangement on it. It's by Mac Wilberg. And so most of those songs are written in 3/4 time or 6/8 time. Well, we have a 4/4 time on this one. So it's a little bit different. I mean, the melody's still the same. It's the accompaniment part that's different. And then we have God Bless the USA, of course, the Lee Greenwood song. That's always a hit with crowd. Homeward Bound, Home Means Nevada, God is Nigh, and God Bless America.
Oh, that sounds beautiful. Very inspirational.
Yes, totally. So we were a perfect fit for Sky Fair with what they were trying to portray in the community and all the aviation.
So, of course, that Sky Fair concert is going to open up ceremonies, if you will, on Saturday, September 13th, 9 a.m. at the Elko Regional Airport. But the prelude to that, if you will be the performance at the First Presbyterian Church Friday night, right?
Yes, at 7 p.m.
Okay. Again, free performance, and all are invited. There are many sponsors who make it possible, and we're going to talk about that too, because not only is membership crucial, but so is sponsorship, donations, because this is an all-volunteer group. So, Rick, before I turn it over a little to some of your colleagues here, any of these numbers that you're especially looking forward to? You're also among newcomers, relatively new to the Elko community, so it's nice that you would bring that.
It's been a very warming move for us to move into Elko. We came up from Reno, previously St. George, Utah, and just everything that we've kind of looked for came in place. I was frustrated when I got here because there weren't any singing organizations. And I went to Kat Phillips after she had done a presentation at one of the churches, and I went up to her and I said, listen, I'm new, I don't know people, you've been a musical director here with plays and everything, how can we get a choir started? And she looked at me and she said, I've been thinking about that same thing. And then Kat and Val got together, and Val had been already thinking about it. This all happened concurrently. So it was really strange, and everything that we've needed to have done has gotten done very easily. Raising money, as you can see in our program, we've got multiple donations from some major corporations, the smallest of which isn't the Northern Nevada Regional Medical Center. It's just been great. It's been easy to raise money. People know us already. And that's obviously a functional part of keeping our expenses at bay. Or as the person says, no money, no runny.
Thank you, Rick, very much. Rick Whittington, also known as Mr. Tennis here in Elko. And it's great to have people like you who can put motion to that poetry and that love and passion, because often a lot of us have ideas and there are very talented people, but it can be hard to put things together. So I'm sure, Valerie, it was a relief to you to find the people who wanted to accomplish what you set out to do.
Yes, it was a dream of mine that sat in the back of my head for decades. And then when I finally decided, well, what are you going to do about it, Valerie? And I mean, it was amazing. Like in our origin story, we say from the time we met all together who was going to be on the board, within 10 days we had our bylaws submitted to the state of Nevada, and you get your response from that basically the next day unless they don't like something. So with the state, we were a nonprofit, but the IRS form was easy to fill out because we were under the $50,000 threshold for receipts or donations. And so a lot of pages of answering no, but at least it was easy. But we had to wait for 30 days for that one. And have our sales tax exemption and everything in place, and it has been very smooth, except for our sales tax exemption. That one was a little rough.
I'm so sorry. It's always the paperwork, right?
I know.
Thank goodness for our friends who are attorneys and accountants. And with that, should we, Rick, switch over and talk to some of our other guests in studio here today? I really appreciate that we're going to start with ladies first. And we have Lynn Lemmon here, who sings alto. And Lynn, I'll let you talk about, because there may be already somebody perked up saying, oh, she was my teacher or my child's teacher, right?
Yes, my husband always says that I'm famous because no matter where I go, hi, Mrs. Lemmon. I taught a lot of kids music up at Mountain View Elementary School and some third grade up there too. But I'm retired now, and so I have time for this. And I, just like Valerie said, it was something I'd always wanted to do, and I was in the back of my head, why doesn't somebody start a choir? But I didn't want it to be me, because I had spent my adult life either being the accompanist or the choir director, and I wanted to sing in a choir. And so when this came up, I was so excited to be part of it. But when I came home from the first rehearsal, my husband said, how'd it go? And I said, I think I'm in over my head. Everyone there could really sing well. Aww. But I'm getting better, so I've really enjoyed it. I sang in a choir as young as 10 for church, and then as a teenager in choir, and in college I was in the university choir. But really since then, I've either been the accompanist at the choir or the director. And so it's just been a fabulous opportunity, and I've really enjoyed it.
Oh, Lynn, that's wonderful to hear of your experience. And also, just wanted to offer appreciation as a parent, because being an educator, the arts are often kind of squeezed because we have a lot of pressure to learn a lot of things these days in public schools. And Lynn, you were able to inspire so many students to become future choralists, for example, maybe singing in their high school choirs.
Yes, as I started that, I taught third grade for 19 years. And then I changed over to music as the music teacher left Mountain View. And my goal was that all those kids, when they came in, they just learned to love music. That's all I cared about. Love music. Find something you like. And then I started a little after-school choir that was a 4th, 5th, and 6th graders first. And then when they moved the 5th and 6th graders up to the intermediate school, it was a 3rd and 4th grade choir. And that was my love, and the little school programs that we had. But those kids, it was always fun to go to the Choraleers concert and count the kids that had been in my choir. And there's still my last choir members, I think, are juniors and seniors this year. So it's been a while since I've been retired, so it's going to be sad when I look up at the Choraleers and I don't know anybody.
Oh, well, you certainly have created that legacy, and hopefully others will step into those shoes, Lynn, because, again, the arts are so important, and I'm so pleased to hear about your enthusiasm. It really, it just adds a beauty and a shine. It appears that you're involved in Ruby Mountain Voices, so thank you, Lynn.
And thank you to Valerie and the whole board to put this together for us. It's been wonderful.
You finally get to sing. Lynn Lemmon, who sings with Ruby Mountain Voices. So Lincoln Bangerter, we get to talk to Lincoln. He sings tenor in Ruby Mountain Voices, and you're the opposite of retired. You're just getting started in business, right, Lincoln, in the community?
I am, yeah. I just moved here last July. I work for Focus Eye Care and Optical Lab, and so this has just been, I really love community. What attracted me to Elko was the small town and how you can be kind of a big fish in a little pond. And I had sang in college, in a college choir, and it was fantastic. And I was remarking to my wife one day, I just miss singing in a choir. That was so great. And you'll sing at church or different things in the car, but there's nothing quite as uniting as far as singing in that choir, and then to do it excellently, like Val was saying. There's a standard that we're trying to reach, and it's been fun to dig back deep into my college singing career and enjoy it here in Elko.
So, Lincoln, you didn't have just any college singing career, right? If you wouldn't mind reminding us of your experience in college.
Well, it wasn't anything individual that I did, but I was part of the Brigham Young University concert choir, which is it's not the top choir at the university, but it's the second one that is large but it was kind of difficult to get into, and because of that we got some great training from Dr. Rosalind Hall, and she's originally from Wales, and just a fantastic music director, and taught me so many things. You never think that singing's that detailed, but it is. And we had opportunities to sing with Tenebrae. We sang the entire Handel's Messiah in the assembly hall, in the Tabernacle on Temple Square. And they're just a fantastic group, and just learned so many things there that I missed and cherished. And but now here in Elko, we get to have our own little tenor section, and the tenors are always the troublemakers, and so we still get to have that same little bit of fun here locally.
Oh, that's great. Thank you, Lincoln. Lincoln Bangerter, who sings tenor in the Ruby Mountain Voices. And I'll just add, too, that a dear friend of ours, Terry Ritz, he is among the administrators of the Tabernacle Choir. And they just got back from Argentina. They take music all over the world. And music has that ability to unite countries, not just communities.
Yeah, and I would add to that, it unites families. I'm one of 7 children and 5 boys, and so we all sang, and that is really what kind of started it all, is our parents saying, hey, this is something that's good for our kids to sing together. And I think our goal is unity in everything we do, and that be that the community or in our families. And that's where I encourage anybody who's had, that the bug for singing or has had past choral experience, that you can find that here and create, a lasting impact. And people will notice. People talk to me. My patients will say, "Oh, I came to your concert," or "I'm going to come." And it's just great to feel a part of the community in that way.
Lincoln, thank you so much for sharing your story. And I'll remind listeners that auditions are open now. It's a short audition period. We're going to give you details on how you can reach out to Valerie and to Rick, their board members. We're talking to members of the choir here today. And we have Jeff Slade, who also sings tenor. And are you a troublemaker, Jeff? I didn't know that.
I love to be within certain bounds. No, the thing I really love about choir, and the thing that really goes well with our patriotic concert this Friday at 7 p.m. at the First Presbyterian Church, which I hope we have a high turnout to. And I hope they understand it for two reasons, Lori. So I work in law enforcement. I'm a prosecutor. And so I deal with conflict day in and day out. That's what I'm paid to do. And this choir is made up of everyone in the community, from pillars to the community to blue-collar people who just do their 9 to 5. And with those folks, when we're talking about patriotism, it's so much different than a politician invoking it, because they're trying to win a side. And it always invokes feelings of conflict. But in this choir, especially this Friday at 7 o'clock at the First Presbyterian Church, you're going to see people from all walks of life harmonizing, literally harmonizing. Over patriotism. And that's really what patriotism is. I have a brother-in-law who's, he works in the Navy, and he and his wife, my sister-in-law, they depend on patriotism to not be something that comes out with the yard art and gets put away back in the closet with the flag and so forth, but something that we're willing to do and participate in day in and day out. So I think this will be a real great opportunity for people to come out, especially if you've never heard a choir or if you've never even set foot in a church, because this isn't going to be a church preach session. This is going to be a come hear a choir session and show that you're a patriot outside of holidays, and come see people harmonize over that message, because it's so important to our community. I get a lot of de-stressing and decompressing in this choir, because it doesn't matter what our religion is, it doesn't matter what our politics are. We're here to pick a message that we all agree on and make harmonizing, beautiful sounds with it. We have a brand new arrangement by one of the most gifted pianists I've ever heard for Home Means, Nevada. And I love that too, because our choir is made up of folks that weren't all born in Nevada, but they certainly claim it as where they are and where they're going to be and where they belong. So,
wow, Jeff, I think we're at a mic drop moment. That's wonderful, and that you would share that in that way. And as you said, harmonizing and bringing people together and lifting them up. And I do believe you're talking about Connie Muir, right?
That's right.
Accompanist. Yes.
That's right.
So gifted in so many ways, and again, brings that spirit of joy to music. And Jeff, isn't music like a physical endeavor too? As you said, it really is sort of cleansing for you and brings you that peace that you need. But it's a physical exercise too, isn't it?
It very much is. You need to. It helps bring yourself into balance. I was talking to my kids about it, and I said, you got to pick an instrument, but your voice is one of them. And that's why I really appreciate everything Lynn's done, because my children have continued to sing. And music really helps. They've proven that music helps you with your ability to take in new information, to be a smart kid in school. And so I really enjoy that too. And that's the other reason why I hope people with kids will come 7 o'clock Friday night to the First Presbyterian Church, because we want kids there. If you got a kid that's loud and you get kicked out of quiet places, come to this concert, because we want them in choir. We want that experience to keep going with them. And frankly, that's where rambunctious kids end up in the tenor section. It's a good place for them.
Jeff, thank you so much. Jeff Slade is a tenor with Ruby Mountain Voices, and rolling back over literally to, of course, Valerie and to Rick, you must be so proud to hear your friends and your colleagues in this endeavor speak about their experience this way, Valerie.
I am, and I know it's there, and probably going to make me cry now. With my reasons for starting this choir and seeing the joy that it brings to people in the camaraderie and the social scene, and like Jeff said, and also Lincoln, when you come together and you sing. That's why I was looking back on my previous papers that you had for one of our quotes that we do on our website from John Reuter, but it's not on here. But he says that choral music is not one of life's frills. I can remember that part. And he basically says, you're more than the sum of yourself when you sing together, and that it's a gift to humanity and to bring peace about in our world, and that our world so needs this right now in our country, and to look at each other and just not demonize one another, and just, as Jeff said also too, to come and enjoy the patriotic music without, I'm blue, you're red. So there's none of that here tonight.
Not even any purple people.
Nope.
Yes. Rick wanted to say something.
Oh,
Yes.
well,
Yes.
you know what? There was a business book out called Good to Great, and we are definitely on that path. We are. I'm really pleased with the progress the choir's made, the way they've intertwined their voices, the way they've balanced their voices, the way they've put the sound out. And there probably isn't anybody listening to this communique today that hasn't been touched by music at some point in their life.
Mm-hmm. Yep. You guys should see when you're not here and one of my favorite songs comes on the radio, I just start dancing. So I am not a good singer. I love music, but I'm a pretty good backup dancer. So I'm sure there's lots of patriotic thrills that will come with God Bless America, Ruby Mountain Voices Patriotic Concert, Friday, September 12th, 7 p.m., free at the First Presbyterian Church on Sewell Drive. And again, many sponsors we don't mind mentioning: Edward D. Jones, Tim Hatch, Gallagher Ford, Print and Copy Center, Focus Eye Care and Optical Lab, the Northeastern Nevada Regional Hospital, and the Elko Federal Credit Union.
And we also have one more that came in after the posters were printed, Nevada Health Center.
Wonderful.
And they are actually the sponsor of our concert.
Oh, that's great news. And they'll be performing then the following Saturday morning. You can start it, as Jeff was saying, bring the kids, get the wiggles out, have a delicious pancake breakfast at Sky Fair. Gates open at 8. It's free. The opening ceremonies that include the beautiful music that we've described here today, that will begin at 9 o'clock from a hangar. I mean, there's so many things. We're going to talk more about Sky Fair on a separate program. I know we've already done that, but we just want to make sure people understand that this is a program to lift your spirits and to bind our hearts, to connect us to each other again as a community, hopefully as a country. I know we'll get there as long as we have people like those you've been listening to today. I want to thank Valerie Sargeant, again, our president, Rick Whittington, who is the vice president of Ruby Mountain Voices, Lynn Lemmon, who is a famous teacher of music in Elko, Lincoln Bangerter, new to the community, but brings his love of this experience, and then Jeff Slade, who also is extremely sensitive and articulate and understands the desperate need that we have in this community to offset the things that hurt us most with something beautiful like this. So all of you have given me a great gift today with your presence and your company. And I want to conclude, Valerie, by just making sure people know how to sponsor, how to reach out, because with auditions open, you might have some takers.
We have several methods for that. We do have a social media presence, and you can go on Facebook, and 2 of the people that are going to audition had contacted us through Facebook Messenger. So that's one way. We also do have an email, rubymountainvoices@gmail.com. And I can just put out my phone number out there, I guess. 775-397-2506 would be the other way also.
Okay. And I've got your number, yes.
Yes,
Okay, good.
yes. And with our social media presence on our website too for donations, we do have a Venmo account, and you can donate to us through our website, rubymountainvoices.org.
All right. And those contributions will help to purchase music. Again, this is a nonprofit organization. If there is travel in the future, certainly can help build a bank account for that so that you can spread this love and joy. Look forward to the concert Friday night, the patriotic concert, Elko Sky Fair Saturday morning, followed by there'll be Festival of Trees, Great Basin College Fire and Ice Winter Festival, and the second annual Festival of Peace Christmas
And that will be
concert.
December 12th.
Oh, good. You got a date for that
Yes,
one.
we do now.
So it
December
sounds like for the next quarter, you'll have to come back and remind us
Yes.
of all these great dates. All right. Thank you all so much for being here today. We really appreciate your time. Thank you. And thank you, listeners, for joining us. You've been listening to Ruby Mountain Voices.